We've learned a former Ridge Point High School football star died after being hit by a car in North Carolina. According to his former coach, the 19-year-old was on life support for several days before succumbing to his injuries Thursday. ABC 13's Alex Bozargian has more on the man's impact both on and off the field.
Terrence Howard graduated from here in 2022, but he came back this past May, taking time out of his spring break to talk to the high school football team. It was his former coach's idea, and that coach telling us tonight that Terrence Howard was an amazing role model, and it just doesn't feel real that he's gone. Terrence Howard was on track to do big things.
It's like Madden out here, man.
Rick Lefevre says Howard didn't play varsity until his senior year at Ridge Point High. He was a late bloomer of sorts, but Lefevre says that's what made him so fun to coach.
Yeah, I remember practice and just when they were in it, because he played corner and in competitive drills, and just, you know, if he did get beat or something, so no, you know, let's go again. So
that hunger for the game is why Lefevre's invited Howard back in May to speak to his players.
I just remember his smile, man. He came in my office in May when he came back, and just the hug. He comes in the coach's office and sees him, and then went and talked to the team.
Lefevre's didn't know it at the time, but that would be his last memory with Howard.
It just seems incomprehensible.
Howard was gearing up to play for North Carolina Central. Lefevre says he was actually on his way to campus when he got into a car accident. Howard got out to check on the other people involved when he was struck by a passing car. The 19-year-old spent 10 days in a medically induced coma.
You know, just recently saw him. I think that's probably the more realistic, or the part that hurts, because it's just right there. So it just felt like, you know, maybe some positive signs.
So many prayed for a miracle, but unfortunately Howard succumbed to his injuries on July 30th. Lefevre says in his short time here on this earth, Howard embodied true grit. After leaving Ridge Point, he walked on to Alabama University's football team. North Carolina Central was supposed to be the next chapter of his story.
You know, he had so much in front of him, a young kid, and he was such a competitor, and I mean, like I said, everybody loved him.
In Missouri City, I'm Alex Bozargian, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.